What is going on, everybody? Okay, now that some of the big-time moves have been made for the NBA, and the Sixers clearly got nobody that special. I mean, we're at the point now where players that we agree with say, you know what, I'd rather go play in Europe. And then, oh wait, what's that? The Kings are offering me more money? Let's go there. I mean, that's where the Sixers are at right now. But that's not the point. The point is, now that we pretty much know where everything's played out, except for Jimmy Butler, which is a big-time name, of course, but as of right now, that hasn't been dealt. Let's take a look at this East, right? And where do the Sixers match up right now with the rest of the East, with Kawhi Leonard going to Toronto, but losing DeMar DeRozan, so that's not as effective as keeping him. But where do the Sixers fall? That is my question to you. You take a look at these teams. You have the Toronto Raptors now, right? With a Kawhi Leonard, who was, people say, arguably a top 5, if not more, player in the league. The Boston Celtics clearly gave us a big struggle last year. Who else do we have? The Indiana Pacers. People are sleeping on them, right? I mean, they have Victor Oladipo. I know, me personally, I think that the Sixers should be able to handle the Indiana Pacers. If they don't, that's not success to me. They should be able to handle the Indiana Pacers. But you got to remember, they took LeBron James in the first round to 7 games. Victor Oladipo is now actually a stud, a star. He's not just some piece that he was with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So how does that play in? You have the Bucks. They lose to Jabari Parker, but they got the Greek Freak. They have pieces. They have assets. We don't like them. We don't like them. They were a team that we kind of got with physically last year. You have the Washington Wizards. People are sleeping on them. John Wall was hurt last year during that run. John Wall was injured. They were an 8th seed, a faulty 8th seed with John Wall being hurt. They pick up Dwight Howard. I get it. He's not a superstar. He's not some dominating force. But what he does is he gives you double-digit points and double-digit rebounds, and he stretches the floor out for these guards to play with Bradley Beal and John Wall. You can't sleep on a team like that. So when I'm looking now at this Sixers team, a team that didn't add anybody that important. They didn't add any superstar to this team like we planned to. So now we're essentially going back in with a couple different bench players, a little bit more athleticism with Zahir. But where do we fall in this Eastern Conference? Do you still put them number 2 behind Boston? Do you put them in front of Boston? I mean, I'll be honest with you. You'd be nuts to do that. We were behind them last year, and they added Kyrie and Gordon. That's just not the truth. So where do you put this Sixers team? Do you think Toronto now has a legitimate shot of taking down the Boston Celtics? Do you think they can beat Boston? What Toronto has over there with Kyle Lowry, with the new coach, with Kawhi Leonard? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where we fall at this point. I would hope to say we're top 3. But you can't sleep on the Indiana Pacers. You can't sleep on a healthy Washington Wizards with John Wall. He was hurt last year. That's a game changer. They don't finish 8th seed like that with him being hurt or with him being healthy. I'm just trying to take a look here. And I said this before. What do the Sixers need to do besides going after it? They need to look in within their squad and have pieces like Markelle Fultz. We need that. We need these players to make the jump. They need to look within themselves and make the jump. Markelle Fultz, if he's half the guys that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are, then we're going to be a jump up. You got to factor in an addition of Markelle Fultz is such a huge addition to this team. That's like adding another piece. So it really comes down to how Markelle Fultz is. But taking a look at where we are with this roster, Joel, Ben, JJ, Markelle, Dario, Rocco, Zahir, Wilson Chandler. Where do you think we fall? Do you think the Raptors actually have a chance to be able to put this team down? Can they beat, if we match up against Kawhi Leonard in the second round of the playoffs, is he beating us? Do you have faith in the Toronto Raptors? Do you have faith in the Sixers? Do you think it's the same as last year? Do you have no worries in the world? Are you not even thinking about the Indiana Pacers, the Washington Wizards? Because I think that's ridiculous. They have to be on your radar. Don't get me wrong. The Sixers should beat them. The Sixers should have enough to get them over the hump, to beat these Pacers, to beat these Wizards. But you can't sleep on them. I'm telling you, you can't sleep on them. So now, without the addition of anybody, it comes within this team. We need Markelle to be at such a different level. I want Markelle to start. I want Markelle Fultz to be a combo guard, start at the 2. He's a first overall pick. I wouldn't be mad if he gives us 25 minutes a night as a 6-man, but I think this kid should have what it takes with his athletic ability to start at the 2 guard. Ben at the 1. Markelle at the 2. Rocco or Wilson Chandler at the 3. Dario at the 4 or Joel at the 5. Why can't that happen? Have JJ on the bench. Have JJ be a 6-man. Have Rocco be a man that produces a lot of minutes. Or Wilson Chandler, whichever one doesn't start. Then you go into the bench with Amir, Zahir, TJ. I mean, I don't know, though. I don't know. I just don't know. And I love this team. But when I'm thinking about the Eastern Conference, what about the Knicks? A healthy Kristaps Porzingis. Looks like they got a stud in the draft with what he did. Knox. What he's been doing in Summer League. I know it's just Summer League, but I'm just saying, he looks good. Could you imagine putting him together with Kristaps and building something a little bit over there in New York? Not saying that should compete with the Sixers at all. But I'm just saying, I'm looking at the East, and I know it's not the West, but I'm just saying, in the East, there's some teams that we need to keep our eye on, or look behind us a little bit, have some eyes in the back of our heads. Because a healthy John Wall is a different story with the Wizards. Adding Dwight Howard or Bradley Beal. The Toronto Raptors, they added a top 5 player in this league. The Indiana Pacers, you just don't sleep on them. So I'm just curious what you think. What do you think about this Sixers team not going out and grabbing anybody at this point? Where do you think they fall with the rest of the Eastern Conference? What do you think about these other teams I'm naming? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.